associated with when I first came to Stewiacke. And I hope you'll, well, some of the older folks might remember. If you're older and you lived here for a long time, you'd remember some of them by name. If you don't, it doesn't matter. Names are just things you put in songs. I don't know what Clayton Delaney was. He might have been a girl, for all I know. But anyway, here's a song with some of the folks that I encountered when I came to Stewiacke in 1960. When I was thinking about it, I thought that would be a good way to start a song. I rolled into Stewiacke back in 1960, not knowing what fate had in store for me. I settled in at my new job and I got to know the people. I bought a house and paid my taxes, raised a family. 6 children. We only had one when we came here. The air was good up here. I met some folks along the way, and one was Irvin Whitman. He always greeted folks with, "Are you having any fun?" I got to know him pretty well, and I found he was a legend. When the story got around to a special piece of ground, now it seems there was a grassy place in front of the old town hall that everyone on council thought should have a special name. They met so many times and discussed what they should call it. Old Whit said, "You fought so much, call it Squabble Green." Now it's still called Squabble Green right to this day. You know where it is, don't you? If you don't, ask one of the Wallaces that lives here. He'll tell you. Now it seemed there was a grassy place in front of the old town hall. Oh, I did that, didn't I? That's the trouble when you get over 60. And plus. Now the first time I drove through the town, I had to stop a while and let an old man pass. Seemed like he was stopped. Wyman Jeffers moved so slow, but really he was running to meet old Andy Sanderson at the local barber shop. Now you'd have to see Wyman to really get the idea what he was like. Might be somebody here that had seen him. He used to be a harness maker here in town. Had a harness shop just down the road here, a little bit from where we are right now. He used to wander around the street, and when he wanted to go over to the bank, which was over where the pizza shop is now, he'd start out across the street. Well, everybody in town knew that Wyman wasn't exactly a runner. He moved kind of slow. As a matter of fact, it took him about 4 days to get over from one side to the other. No, I encountered him. I saw him coming. I said, "Oh my gosh, that guy walks slow." And I stopped the truck and I just let him go. Shuffled across. All right, there's a couple more guys in town I want to sing about. Now Hiram Stewart would stop you and he'd tell you a story. If you only had a minute, he would take a half a day. He fell down and died one day in the local drugstore. True. What a tale he would have told you, but the Lord took him away. Hiram was that kind of a guy that, nice old fella. Walk up to you and he'd keep walking. Walking, walking. First thing you know, he was right here. Did you ever run into somebody like that? Or you let somebody like that run into you? Anyway, you knew what Hiram was like. I remember one day in the office, I used to have my office down where the co-op building used to be, where you turn down to go to Foodland now. It was a rainy day, miserable day, and I was sitting there at the office trying to make out time and all the rest of it, and Hiram came in. I thought, he's not going anywhere for a while. Sure enough, he wasn't. He stood there, and I'm going to tell you, I did my work all afternoon. He stood there right by the side of the desk. Anyway, a nice old fella. You'd see a man with a plastic bag going to the mail. He'd stop and talk with anyone he met. He gave a smile to everyone, especially the ladies. His name was Horace Meadows, and Hub, we miss you yet. Everybody called him Hub. I don't know how that happened, but anyway, that's it. Later on, they built a brand new mini mall with a doctor and a dentist in the middle of the town. It was no job to keep it clean in front of that old building. Leo would pick up the bus while his pants all fell down. Leo was a guy that lived across the street from me, down on Riverside Avenue. There was a little rest home there, and they had a lot of folks that used to come in there and stay with them. Leo was one of them. Well, they got so bad after a while that they decided they better do something about his pants falling down. So they put a pair of overalls on him. That took away the sights. Now I saw him walk to the ambulance when they took him away. They say that he survived the night, but he died the next day. I watched him light a cigarette, and I thought, what is to be will be. All these men I've sung about have left their mark on me. There was Wyatt, Hiram, Joe, Leo, Andy, and old Wick. They're gone but not forgotten. Are you having any fun? Oh, yes, yes, yes. Those are some of the little things that come to your mind when you start thinking about you made that move up to here, okay? I want to sing this one for you. Kind of ties in, I guess, a little bit with that song. This is one song I wrote. I wrote that one, by the way, too, but here's one I wrote. I just call it Yesterday. Yesterday, when I was young, there were things I hadn't done. Then I met a special girl, and it changed my lonely world. Seems like it was only yesterday. Now I'm old, my hair's turned white. It didn't happen overnight. Took some time to get this way. I think it happened yesterday. Yesterday, when I was young, there were songs I hadn't sung. Seemed like that was only yesterday. I can still recall the time a cup of coffee cost a dime. Summer days seemed long and hot. People seemed to smile a lot. That's the way it was yesterday. Life is life, and time goes by. no use to sit and cry. No matter what you do or say, you can't change yesterday. Yesterday, when I was young, there were things I hadn't sung. Seems like that was only yesterday.